him to the police department. Well, he was as much at fault as the caller. In fact, he was more at fault, because just so somebody tells you something don't mean you have to do it.
Yeah.
So then at that point, Donna Summers is like, what am I going to do?
So then here comes an older gentleman in who's a custodian that was off duty.
He gets on the phone. He hears a few words of it and says, no way, this is not happening. This isn't right.
He had enough common sense to realize, wait a minute, is this a real police officer?
What?
He tells Donna Summers that this was not a real call. Then she finally seems to realize, wait a minute, is this all not real?
Wait.
And everything stops.
Wait.
This whole thing is a hoax.
Wait.
That's when you realize that this game.
What's the deal? It's your boy Rodney the Boss, multi-platinum and Grammy Award-winning producer of Lil Wayne on the Carter 3, Plies, Lil Boosie, Mr. Magic, Rocco. The list just goes on, you know what I'm saying? I'm rocking with my girl, Amber Alert, on the Takeover on the AATI network.
Hey, it's Riff. You rocking with Gemini the Queen.
What up, man? It's your boy DJ Nothing Nice, Demi RDB, Orlando, Florida. You know, the palm tree lifestyle, that's how we get down. Grammy member, engineer, producer, RIAA member, you know, just entrepreneur worldwide, you know, just rocking, doing what we do right here, you know what I'm saying? With your homegirl, Gemini the Queen, on Amber Alert. You know, we're just doing what we do. You know what I'm saying? We're doing the big boy things. You know what I'm saying? Doing the big boy things.
Pretty good.
Yo, what
Good
the
place to raise your family, good
is
schools.
going on? This is your girl,
Not a lot of
Gemini the
crap.
Queen, DJ Amber Alert. Always live by side,
Yeah, I
hood
got
certified,
the phone call about the
bitch.
McDonald's case.
What's happening?
I was at home minding my own
What
business.
the fuck is this shit,
And
y'all?
it was the assistant
Y'all got
chief
to
at the
hear
time, and he
this
said,
bullshit.
"Buddy, what are you doing?" I said,
Have you heard
"I'm
this
sitting there on the
bullshit?
couch, chilled out, watching a little TV." And he said, "Well, I need you to come out. I'm out here at the McDonald's, and I don't know how the hell to explain it to you." He said, "There's just some bad things happening out here, and
I
I
just
need."
can't even give you an intro of shit
It
because
was
what
April
the
the
fuck?
9th, 2004, and I had only been promoted approximately 3 weeks. I guess you would say I was a rookie detective. I roll in McDonald's. I really don't have an idea what's going on. Police cars everywhere, and people coming and going. I walked into the restaurant, and the McDonald's was still doing business. We went through the kitchen area and back a hallway. It was just crazy. People running around like they had chickens with their heads off.
And they still cooking burgers? That's fucked up.
You could tell that it was an atmosphere where everybody was just upset. And like they'd seen something or done something that they couldn't believe was happening. I saw the victim in the back office. She appeared to be upset, head hanging down. We had a manager that was upset. I had an assistant manager who was upset. It's like a whirlwind going on. And I'm thinking, oh, what in the hell have they got me into? They were trying to explain to me what had happened, but what they were saying didn't make a lot of sense. And all I could understand was that it had something to do with this phone call.
The police can't comprehend.
One of the officers there told me, said, there's a video of what happened here. And I said, what?
What?
There was a CCTV camera in here
You solved
recording
the
everything.
case.
I said, I stopped right here. Enough talking about it. We've done beat that horse to death. Now, let's see exactly what happened. Started watching the video. There's no sound, so you can only go with what you see, sort of like watching silent movies. Donna Summers, who was the assistant manager, she's on the phone with somebody.
Okay, I see.
On this particular day, a call came in to the restaurant.
This is on the Netflix, y'all.
And the assistant manager at the restaurant, Donna Summers, 51 years old, takes the call. And it's a gentleman on the other line saying that he is a police officer. He's working for the Mount Washington Police, which is not even a mile up the road from the restaurant.
Okay.
And that he has the manager of the McDonald's on the line with him, along with a corporate representative. And he's got some very serious business to talk about.
Like what?
One of her employees has been accused of stealing a wallet from a customer who had been there.
Okay.
He describes her as petite, brunette hair. And Donna Summers says, yes, we have that employee. I know exactly who that is.
Bitch. No, she did not.
As I'm watching the video, the young woman that comes into the room, you can see them talking back and forth.
I know, you lying. Shut up.
Louise Ogborn, 18 years old, was working at McDonald's because her mom had recently lost her job, had some health issues, and she wanted to help the family earn some money. And on this particular day, they were very busy, and she offered to stay and help with the dinner rush.
The fuck? Donna.
So at that point, Donna Summers takes Louise Ogborn to the back office.
Oh my God.
That I'd been accused of stealing some money from my customer's purse. I just remember being distraught. I was so upset that somebody would blame me for something so horrible.
The person on the phone, the police officer, then tells Miss Summers, now here's what we can do. We can either arrest her at the restaurant, or if you want to help us out, we need you to conduct a strip search and see if she has money on her.
No.
She started asking me to empty my pockets and taking stuff out.
Oh my God.
And laying it on the desk, and I turned my pockets inside out.
Next thing you know, another assistant manager walks in as well, and they got a garbage bag, and they put that over the door.
I know, you fucking lying.
So you couldn't look in from the hallway and see what was going on inside that office. Thought it was strange, but I guess they were trying to make the victim more comfortable with what was going to happen.
For a wallet.
It's hard to imagine what Donna Summers is thinking. Most people say they would never believe someone on the phone is asking them to conduct a strip search. However, this caller sounds very legitimate. He's very calm. He's giving the orders very authoritatively. And Donna Summers is obeying all of these commands from the officer.
I would just like to tell you.
Even Louise complies, even though she doesn't really want to. She keeps, protesting, saying she didn't do this. So she's probably thinking, well, they're going to realize this isn't me, and I'll just obey right now, and hopefully they'll let me out of this situation.
Because she has to have a wallet on her that she stole.
That's when it becomes more bizarre.
And then make her get butt-ass naked.
All of a sudden, here comes one article of clothing off, and then another article of clothing off.
Hell no.
And I'm going,
and then you're going to do it.
What the hell we got going on here? I mean, I was mind blown. And the next thing you know, the victim has nothing on but her underwear and her bra. And
she ain't had no bra
all of a
right
sudden,
here.
They're taking off their remove too.
She butt-ass
She's just standing there just naked. I mean, there's not a stitch of clothes on at all. And I'm thinking, working in a McDonald's office with a naked woman? I mean, what's going to happen next?
Donna!
We're probably an hour into the phone call. I was just standing with my mouth on open, not being able to believe.
Yeah, I bet you were.
After they remove her clothing, they give her an apron, and she's trying to conceal herself as best as she can.
I was completely undressed.
Don't ever let nobody do that shit to
embarrassed.
you. What the fuck? I wish the fuck I would
Next thing you
strip
know,
the
they're
fuck down
bagging her
motherfucking
personal belongings
McDonald's because
and they take 'em
they
out of the
said I
room.
stole the fucking wallet. Bitch.
The police officer on the line.
The FBI gonna have to come arrest me.
Take all of Louise's clothing.
What?
Get her car
Hell
keys.
fuck nah.
And take it out to the car
I'm
and
on
put it
the
in the
run.
car. So here's Louise Osborne sitting there naked with a little apron over
I
her,
wouldn't even
realizing that even if she wants to get out of that situation,
but I
there
stole
is
some
a
hamburgers
restaurant
while I
full of
be on the
customers
run.
that she's
Bitch,
gonna
you
have
got
to
me
run through
fucked up.
naked, and then what's she gonna do?
Naked.
So she's stuck back there.
What?
I didn't know what was behind the door. I didn't know if somebody was waiting for me or...
Yeah,
I didn't
somebody
know
was
whether
waiting for your
naked.
ass, I bet.
I was just really scared.
What choice did Louise have at this point but
To not.
to obey?
Well, she butt ass naked now, so she.
This young lady's not being strip searched. She's a prisoner in her own place of employment. She's upset. You could see it in her face that she was traumatized at the situation that she was in.
Ain't no way.
I can
Donna
only imagine an 18
did not know what
what's
was
going through
going
your
on.
mind.
Ain't no motherfucking
This
way.
is someone who has always followed orders probably in her life. Her life has been about order. Going to church, going to Girl Scouts, going to school.
Said
Grew up
butt
in
fuck
typical
naked at
military
McDonald's
home,
motherfucking.
highly disciplined. I was taught when my dad, my mom told me to do something that I absolutely didn't.
That ain't your fucking
If
daddy?
any other adult told me to
Or
do
your mommy?
something, I absolutely didn't. No arguments.
Hell nah, bitch, what?
And then the next thing you know, this male had come into the office, and he's a middle-aged man. He doesn't have a employee uniform or an apron or anything on. And I'm going, he's not a McDonald's employee. What's he doing back here in McDonald's main office? You also don't know what type of person this is.
I'm the
Could he
police.
even be in on it with the collar?
Could he? Ooh. Cliffhanger,
This
duh.
whole thing has been going on for hours. And Donna Summers, she's trying to run a restaurant that's very busy at that time of day.
Fuck
Every
Donna.
time she starts
Fucking
kind of wondering why
McDonald's.
this is taking so long,
Friday got them
he seems to
french
have
fries,
an answer.
bitch, and burn them and
We're
save
on
that
our way,
child.
just
Not
don't have
make her
anything
get
working
butt
today.
fuck naked.
Just bear with us.
What the fuck?
So that sounds like a legitimate answer to Summers.
What?
However, she needs to get back to work.
I'm
And the
butt
officer
naked. I
says,
need
well,
to
look,
get
do
these
you
french fries
have
together.
a man in your life who you trust? Do you have a husband, a boyfriend, someone you could maybe bring in who could watch her until we get there?
Oh.
And so Donna Summers says, yes, actually, I have a fiance, Walter. He could come down.
Oh, Lord.
I'm thinking,
What?
what part of being the right thing to do did you think this was?
I don't know.
The manager leaves, and he takes the phone.
Okay.
And now Walter Nix is listening to the caller
You
and
just gonna
following
give-
his directions.
This
He
was
says
all
to
a
Louise,
setup,
all right,
bitch.
he wants you to go ahead and drop the apron.
This was all a setup. I know you lying.
Then the police officer says,
Exactly.
can she do some
video,
jumping
bro.
jacks?
Jumping jacks?
Maybe she could run in place.
What?
She needs to shake. We need to see if anything falls out. You never know where she may have hid something.
What?
She's now been in the room nearly 2 hours. I see these acts going on. Jumping jacks, naked, jogging in place, standing in a chair. It just kept going on and on.
In the meantime, from time to time, Donna Summers comes back into the office. And each time she comes back in, you can see Louise Osborne covering herself with that apron. She
Donna
doesn't
is
think
part of
anything's
this
going
shit,
on.
bitch.
She
Donna,
thinks
I
he's
want
just sitting
your
there
fucking
listening
head.
to the police
I
officer
don't give a
and
fuck.
watching her until the police get there. You have to think that Louise is getting worn down mentally as well, and she's not getting any help at all from Donna
Bitch.
Summers.
fucking die.
There is one point you can see Donna Summers coming back into the room, and Louise Osborne does not have her apron covering her. And Walter Nix is right next to her. Whether she saw it or not, maybe she came back in the room very quickly and didn't see it. Still nothing is done. So at that point, Louise has to think, I'm all alone here. Nobody's going to help me.
Right.
I was doing what I had to do to survive.
Oh no.
The caller was telling me to say yes sir, no sir. And if I didn't, I'd get punished. And I was petrified. I didn't know if this was my last thing on earth. I didn't know if I'd make it through.
As far as I knew, Walter Nix was an upstanding person in the community, churchgoer, family man. He was a little league coach around children all the time. People trusted him, and Donna's going to marry him. But evidently, when he was so far out of his normal
that was her man?
This guy talking to him on the phone that every moral fiber that he had in him, he just lost it.
Oh my God!
Getting worse the further the video went. Even had the young lady turned over his lap, and he was spanking her naked buttocks, and I mean to the point that you could even see the red marks. And
they're showing the video.
Spanking continues on and off for about 20 minutes.
Oh my God!
Louise Osborne is humiliated, scared.
This is horrible.
She's probably afraid for her life at this point.
Fuck.
I was crying the whole time. He'd already hit me, beat me, and there's no telling what he could have done if I stood up for myself and tried to get help.
As the video progressed, it went to a dark hour.
What?
Walter Nix is then instructed to have Louise Osborne set on his lap. We can check her breath. We might be able to tell if she has any drugs or alcohol on her breath.
What?
And the police officer tells him to have Louise Osborne give him a kiss.
What police officer? What the fuck are they talking about?
Over the next hour, he's persuaded to run through all these things.
And if that was not enough, the police officer tells, Walter Nix,
what?
I need her to perform a sexual act.
What?
And he instructed her to do
sucking dick? I know you don't. What?
Walter Nix actually had the victim perform oral sex on him.
No one understands how this went forward, but it
no
did go
one.
forward.
Oh, I think I do. Fucking assholes. What the fuck?
I don't remember feeling anything.
I'm glad you don't remember feeling shit. God. The fuck?
I just made it to where I was really there, Italy.
Oh my God.
It was very hard to watch, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And I got pretty upset about it. I was upset because I didn't see how anything could happen to somebody like that. I mean, hell, if you can't work at a McDonald's and feel like you're safe,
right.
we're getting in a pretty sorry world.
The motherfucking little ass office at McDonald's.
A young lady's been sexually assaulted, physically assaulted, but I'm thinking, what the hell am I going to do?
So Walter Nix has to be thinking to himself, what did I just do? And he realizes he's done wrong. He knew he had to be doing wrong.
Because the police would tell me to get my dick sucked.
At this point, I saw enough that I knew we had a felony. And if they did,
he wouldn't be surprised because he already knew he was already part of the problem.
Bring him to the police department. Well, he was as much at fault as the caller. In fact, he was more at fault because just saw somebody tells you something don't mean you have to do it.
What?
So then, at that point, Donna Summers is like, what am I going to do?
And then here comes an older gentleman who's a custodian that was off duty.
He gets on the phone. He hears a few words of it and says, no way. This is not happening. This isn't right.
He had enough common sense to realize, wait a minute, is this a real police officer?
He tells Donna Summers that this was not a real call. Then she finally seems to realize, wait a minute, is this all not real?
Did she?
And everything stops. This whole thing is a hoax.
You know what? Everybody.
And that's when they realized they'd been scammed.
Scam? How the fuck you scam somebody into sucking your dick, bitch? What?
Surely to God, he's not a cop.
What?
My only thought was, how the hell can a guy get his enjoyment out of doing this over the phone, but obviously he got gratification strictly by hearing what's going on.
What?
I also think that he got his jollies off the knowing that he had the strength to get in those people's heads and have them comply.
Hold on. So the baddest guy is the person that's on the phone, acting like they're the police and telling people to do certain things. And the people do those things, but somehow it's always recorded on videos of interrogation and stuff like that. But it's... Yo, if the police called you and said, hey, I need you to hold this shit down right now. Hey, yo, you see that motherfucker in the corner? Tell him suck your dick, because otherwise they going to motherfucking jail. Bitch, you gonna do that shit? Some of y'all asses probably would. Oh, God.
That's what his instructions were.
Fucking shit.
While all kinds of thoughts ran through my mind, I knew we needed to take the victim's statement. That's when I sat down across from her.
Oh my gosh.
And looked her in the eye. I realized I knew her. Yeah, she was my neighbor. And I said, Louise? She said, yeah, buddy, it's me. And, her dad was a friend of mine. We just grew up together. And, that hit me right between the eyes.
Where?
And, the case became very personal.
Yeah, it's personal.
Gave me more drive.
What the fuck?
Made me more determined that I'm going to find out who the hell did this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put their ass in jail.
Yeah.
3 weeks before, when I took that job, I never thought I'd ever have a case like this.
Oh my gosh.
We needed to determine where the phone call was placed from before we could figure out how to solve this case. The caller appeared, based on the statements and things that they were telling me, that he knew what was actually going on inside that office.
What?
My instinct was that this guy was nearby.
What? Dude.
After we took statements that night, I actually drove back over here to the parking lot.
Pause.
Why somebody would want to do this.
Officer lying, the motherfucker.
Because they would want to look at the McDonald's and watch for the police to roll up and see how successful they were pulling off their prank.
What?
I thought it could be a disgruntled employee. Possibly could also be somebody that knew Louise whether they were playing a prank on her for fun or whether they had something against her. I didn't know, but that was a possibility. Your mind just runs in 100 different directions trying to figure out which way to go.
Oh, Lord, don't ever go to this town or city. No.
The next shift I worked, I went through the statements and collected more information possibly that would help me solve this. I felt our case was like a needle in a haystack right off the bat. And then all of a sudden, I was sitting there and I thought, I'm going to search the internet. Punch in McDonald's strip search, and boom. There came up a lot of information from all restaurants and other retail establishments where this had happened across the nation.
Did y'all know you could type in stuff on the internet?
Every case was almost the exact same MO. Some cases even used the same police officer's name. The detective Scott at McDonald's in Hinesville, Georgia, where an older custodian did a body cavity search on a female employee. At a Taco Bell in Phoenix, Arizona, the manager picked out a customer that fit the description on the phone and searched her.
To make some Chinese.
In 95, we're at a McDonald's in Raleigh, North Carolina. 98, we're in Oak Brook, Illinois, and so he just bounced all over the place. In Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Taco Bells and Burger Kings and Hardee's and Applebee's and every restaurant you could think of was a victim of this caller. I realize I have information on 73 cases in 32 states.
All these motherfuckers in all these places.
The first call that we were able to determine was in 1994. Here I am in 2004.
I know you are.
And I went,
you bitches out here sucking dick because they the police.
This ain't gonna be the local Winn-Dixie.
Or you think they the police?
I knew everybody was looking at me. This was gonna be a defining moment in my career.
Dangerous, almost unbelievable hoax repeated across the nation many times.
And now to an unbelievable hoax that police say many people fell victim to. We know that it was at 70 different locations all over the country, as you can see.
It's a large nationwide investigation. This same hoax played out at 69 other businesses in 32 states over 10 years.
Detective Stump is considered a hero to the young girl.
A hero?
Tracking down hundreds of calls.
Subject had a way of getting inside of people's minds. I didn't realize at first, but I was handed a case that ended up being a monster, and there's nobody to solve this.
My brain's going to explode.
We were afraid that constantly every week more people were going to be hurt. We knew we had a bad guy, and we knew we had a bad guy that thought he could do any damn thing he wanted.
A bad guy?
Because he'd been doing it for 10 years. And he didn't think he could get caught, and he was going to keep on going and going and going.
One guy.
I'm very concerned that we have a sexual predator on the loose. My thought is, what's going to happen tonight? What business is going to get hit? What young victim is going to be victimized?
Anyway,
somebody had to stop this monster from what he was doing.
Get my cabbage chopped up and ready for my Chinese.
I knew that to catch this guy, I needed to understand his particular MO, and to do that, I needed to understand more about his past cases.
This is... They really...
Blackup's a nice, close-knit community. It's a small farming town. It's safe.
Okay, we got another victim, bitch.
The caller targeted certain audiences. He targeted small towns where people were more willing to believe in authority, especially if somebody says that they're police.
I was raised to respect the authority of people in charge of me, teachers, people at church. Those that are older than me.
That person was smart enough to know that smaller cities might have young, impressionable people working at their fast food restaurants that really need to keep in their day jobs.
I was 16 years old when I took this job.
Okay.
And I was thrilled when I got the position because it's like, I'm going to be earning my own money. I was a loyal, dutiful, like always early employee.
Pizza.
It was December 16th, 1999.
Okay.
Just a ordinary cold December weeknight. Suddenly I was called back to the office by name. The manager told me that he was on the phone with someone named Officer Davis from the Blackfoot Police Department. Because a woman had been at our establishment earlier that evening. Her purse was stolen, and it had a $50 bill in it. And $50. She knows that one of the servers took it.
Oh, good God.
$50 is a lot of money when you're making $2.80 an hour plus tips.
No, $50 ain't a lot of money.
Personal belongings at all. And then they stated that it was the person she thinks had her purse was a female server, a little over 5 foot, and blonde hair.
Here we go with this.
What the hoax caller is doing on the phone is giving a very basic description. And he knows there would be a young employee that fits the description of a petite, meek young woman.
I was protesting that I'm not 5 foot, I'm not blonde, it was not me, you know. I was adamant, it wasn't me.
It didn't matter. It was all in on this.
No matter what I said, the officer had a believable, plausible, reasonable answer for everything. Officer wanted the clothes removed piece by piece, and it began with removing shoes, and then it was my pants, and then it was my uniform shirt.
Y'all parents ain't teach you how to.
So just a progression of
motherfucking police.
One item at a time, with lots of talk between.
The caller seems to love the slow pace of this. Starts off easy,
but the caller can keep seeing this shit, bro.
The people in.
Ain't no
and
fucking
then
way.
It gets bigger and bigger. It escalates.
As it goes on, I'm just getting more hysterical because I'm just pleading and pleading and pleading, and I just kept saying, "This isn't right. This isn't right." And the matter even seemed to kind of anger the officer even more. He was asking that my manager describe my body. He wanted him to describe my breasts, what my genitalia looked like, and even my bra size. And that's when I snatched the phone away and was screaming, "How in the world could my bra cup size and all this type of stuff have anything at all to do with this allegedly stolen $50
so
bill?"
You got on the phone, talk shit, but you was still butt the fuck naked.
Even though I was extremely violated and traumatized, I didn't feel personally empowered enough to just get the hell out of there.
Good God.
And right about that time, my coworker Derek came in and could tell something was wrong.
Were you still butt naked?
It's 1999 in Blackfoot, Idaho. Jobs are kind of limited for our area, so I ended up getting a job at a pizza parlor. I was 22 at the time. Most of our waiting staff were under the age of 18. I went through the employee entrance. Immediately I noticed that something was really wrong and asked the cook what was going on because I could see no wait staff. It was just the cook, a pile of pizzas, breadsticks for days, carry-outs waiting to be boxed up. Like, it was chaos for a pizza parlor. And I said, "What is going on?" And she's like, "Something's going on in the office." When I turned the corner and I seen the manager, he looks up at me. I'll just never forget the sweat pouring on his body. I've never seen anything like it together.
I knew it.
I see a young lady getting strip searched. I said, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he said, "There's a cop on the phone, and I'm doing a strip search for the police." And I grabbed the phone and I said, "Who is this?" And the guy says, "This is an officer with the Blackfoot Police Department."
They're gonna keep trying to act like they ain't part of this
like
bullshit.
This is something he does every day. And I said,
"Then you of all people should know, this manager should not be strip searching a minor, especially a female."
I was like, "We need to get the real cops here." And he hung up.
outsider coming in
I ain't buying it, bitch.
and being alarmed at the information enough to
If
act
you
and do something
motherfuckers
and
that
stop
fucking
the situation.
stupid,
I was very grateful for his intervention.
you need to go to jail too.
I wish I would have been there sooner. I did what I was supposed to do when I got there.
The police are on the
It pisses me off
phone.
that somebody's going to take advantage of people like that.
When I realized it was a hoax and that this was just a person impersonating a real police officer, I was outraged.
In 1999, I would have said 100% the manager is involved with this. And after learning that this has happened so many times in so many different states, I just don't see how it's plausible for him to be
because
involved.
it's a lot of sex rings in
You
so
know,
many places,
I honestly
bitch.
don't think that anybody at these restaurants were involved. I think that they were honestly just taken advantage of.
Then went home, but stayed up pretty late and wrote down, recounted the whole story. Just being able to sit down with my legal pad and even make it through my account. That was really hard.
Oh my goodness.
I was so personally wronged, and I was discouraged to learn that there was no way that the police were going to put significant resources into checking this out or following up. It wasn't a priority for them.
What's really hard to believe is that somebody was doing this all over the place and just kind of getting away with it. Were all the cases not investigated? Were people afraid to report it?
Is this seriously about the motherfucker that's calling?
We had the proof, the
And not
undeniable
about the
video
motherfuckers
evidence
that are doing this.
that this did happen. The other agencies didn't have that. They didn't have nothing but a statement of somebody saying this is what happened to me. As far as I knew, I was the only person investigating this thing. I had no idea someone else was on to him too.
We forget about our motherfucking too. We only had 19 to fucking 99. This is some bullshit. What the fuck?
An unbelievable phone scam hit more branches of Wendy's near Boston late Friday. The caller claimed to be a police officer and was able to trick managers into performing illegal strip searches on employees. In the most shocking case, a young female manager was tricked into sexually assaulting a male server.
Some outrageous sexual conduct happened in which he was asked to spread his arms and his legs. She had touched him inappropriately, including his private parts.
It was just really horrific.
Because that's what
the victims went through. If anybody had done this to my child, I would be outraged. I always treat people like their family, so I get pissed that this happened to these men and women, and I wanted to make sure it stopped. It really piqued my interest because of the bizarre nature. Usually, we did a lot of drug cases, you know. On a daily basis, we'd be out buying heroin, buying cocaine, the fad drugs I call Molly and Oxycontins. So yesterday, we're buying heroin. Today, I'm tracking a hoax caller posing as a police officer. We had no idea where the call came from. We had no suspects, nobody. Got back to the office and basically put my hands over my head going, I don't know how I'm going to find a suspect. This is a needle in a haystack.
Other than the video, I got one piece of evidence. That's the caller ID number from the Star 69.
An employee at the restaurant was fast thinking enough to think Star 69. And for those of us who remember the landlines, you would put in Star 69 and it would take you back to the last caller.
If I hadn't had that number, this case would have been dead in the dirt. I'm sitting there looking at this phone number. I call it. Gotta get a busy signal. And I thought, well, no. I call it again. I get a busy signal. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I've got a phone number, and it's not telling me nothing. At that time, I didn't have a lot of help. I didn't have 2 or 3 other detectives going to jump in and work with me. I had nothing to go on.
I'm doing this investigation basically alone, and it's tough to get going. Because think about it, what evidence is there to this case? But I knew that I was going to do everything I could to catch him, and if I did everything I can to catch him, I will. The first lead in the case was doing what they call a reverse toll on all 4 locations. I'm getting multiple subpoenas from the judge for these records, and I get a report back saying that the numbers are fake. They go nowhere. We don't know anything else. We don't know if it's cell number, we don't know hotline. We know nothing.
Hey yo. I am finishing my homemade Chinese food. Y'all need to get into it, okay? You know, chow mein. Y'all ever had that? Yeah. About to finish that shit up with some motherfucking... Well, don't worry about it. It's all good. Mad love to everybody. You know, this shit is out of goddamn control. And, Yep. Love ya.
What's the deal? It's your boy Rodney the Boss, multi-platinum and Grammy Award-winning producer of Lil Wayne on the Carter 3, Plies, Lil Boosie, Mr. Magic, Rocco. The list just goes on, you know what I'm saying? I'm rocking with my girl, Amber Alert, on the Takeover on the AATI network.
Hey, it's Riff. You rocking with Gemini the Queen.
What up, man? It's your boy DJ Nothing Nice, Deminar DB, Orlando, Florida. You know, the palm tree lifestyle. That's how we get down. Grammy member, engineer, producer, RIAA member. You know, just entrepreneur worldwide. You know, just rocking, doing what we do right here. You know what I'm saying? With your homegirl, Gemini the Queen, on Amber Alert. You know, we're just doing what we do. You know what I'm saying? We're doing the big boy things. You know what I'm saying? Doing the big boy things. You know what I'm saying? You got to do the big boy things. You feel?